Check one.
Dairy Showmanship exhibitors, 5-minute call. 5-minute call. The even ages, 8, 10, 12, etc., will be on the west ring nearest the loading dock. The odd numbered ages, 11, 13, 15, 17, etc., will be in the east end, which is opposite from the loading dock, and you will enter from the center aisle. Odds will enter from the center aisle. Evens at the loading dock end of the ring. 9-year-old showmanship contestants, please be making your way to the ring. Our 8-year-olds are showing up. We're going to start in about 2 minutes. We're ready to begin our show. We have our 9-year-old contestants enter the East Ring. 8-year-old contestants, please enter in the West Ring at the loading dock end. Eight-year-old showmanship, you are in the ring. 9-year-olds in the ring. Bring your animals to the ring. We are starting our showmanship competition. I'd like to introduce our judges for showmanship today. In the East End, judging in the odd age groups, and also they will be consulting together for selection of our champions, is Caroline Aerosmith. Caroline is a Penn State graduate with a degree in animal science. She has judged at several regional showmanship competitions. She currently works for her family farm, Hill Acres Farm, making farmstead cheese, raising beef, pork, and chicken, and still exhibits cattle along with her parents at Hill Acres Jerseys at the state and national level. Judging in the West End is Mr. Ryan Allen. Ryan was born and raised on his family's dairy, Glentockton Farms in Frederick County, and came up through the 4-H program here in Maryland. He currently resides in Lancaster County, working for Premier Select Sires as a reproductive and genetic consultant. He previously worked as a satellite dairy manager for Fairmont Farms in Vermont. He's been active in the Maryland Dairy Judging Program and earned a trip to Europe. He also judged at the collegiate level for Penn State. He's worked as a dairy cattle fitter, traveling the country, preparing animals for the show ring, and last year had the privilege of fitting the Grand Champion Guernsey at World Dairy Expo. He has judged several local and regional shows and enjoys showing cows with his fiance's family, Hill Acres Jerseys. Yes, that is correct. We have a future married couple working with our show today. Let's give them a nice welcoming round of applause. And if Ryan is smart, he will defer to Caroline's decisions today. "11-year-old contestants and our first group of 10-year-olds can be making your way to the show ring. First group of 10s and 11s.
Well, good morning. Well, good morning, everybody. It's quite the honor for Caroline and I to be down here sorting out some of our showmanship classes here at one of our favorite fairs. And for me, it's a real pleasure to start off with such a good class of showmen here in our 8-year-olds. Give these 6 kids a big round of applause for their first year showing. I think all 6 of these kids would have smoked me in showmanship when it comes to first year. I'm really proud of all 6 of them. But for me, these top 3 showmen rise to the top quite handily. They're my type of showmen. They move around the ring so beautifully with their animals, walking in line with that animal, making sure that they're the best, shown to the best of their ability. Young lady with the jersey coming out in first, she gains the advantage over the young man in second. I think these 2 rise to the top out of these 3, just for getting her animals set up the best in line. I think these top 2 showmen are pretty close, but when we got them in line, that young lady with the jersey had those feet underneath of her looking the best at all times. Second over third, it's another close placing, but for me, the young man with the white Holstein just had his heifer a little bit more on the money, a little bit more set up, quicker and more accurate when we were moving around the ring. Third over fourth, it's about that overall carriage of the head. I think the young man in fourth does a great job with his young Jersey heifer, but there's times where she can drop her head just a little bit. Fourth over fifth, it's just about paying attention to the judge and a few other nitpicky things that I talked to each one of these kids about. But all 6 kids should be quite proud of how they did out here today. Congratulations.
Results of our 8-year-old class. First goes to Chandler Story, recipient of an award sponsored by our Joint Breed Association. Second to Jace Black. Third to Audrey Arball. Fourth to Garrett Pickett. Fifth to Andy Kristanovich. And sixth to Trevor Lancaster.
Wow, what a great class of young men here today. With these 9-year-olds. Let's give them all a big round of applause. I can tell they all worked really hard. This young man in first just did a really great job of presenting her heifer to look as best as she possibly could, with throating her, walking her at a good speed, as well as setting her up with her feet under her very well. That places him over this young man in second here who has such ultimate control over his heifer. They flow so nicely together. It's very clear that they have worked very hard to get this to where they are right now. And that gets him over our awesome young man here in third who just his heifer didn't want to cooperate quite as well today as well as this young man in fourth. However, they all did such great work, really keeping their eyes on me and following my directions. Thank you.
Congratulations to Marshall Mongold, winner of the 9-year-old showmanship competition. He'll receive an award provided by our breed associations. Second goes to Madden Story, third to Abel Mason, and fourth to Connor Rudman. So let's jump up to Class 1. We'll start at the top of the page if you're marking your books. Audrey Arball is third, Jace Black is second, Andy Kristanovich is fifth, Trevor Lancaster is sixth, Garrett Pickett is fourth, and Chandler Story is our winner. In class number 2, Abel Mason is third, Marshall Mongold first, Connor Rudman fourth, and Madden Story is second. We now have our first group of 10-year-olds in our West Ring and our 11-year-olds in our East Ring. Lane Durr. Lane Durr, we're looking for you in Showmanship if you're coming. Connor Mullinex, 11-year-old. We're looking for you if you're coming. Connor Mullinex, Lane Durr. Your classes are in the ring. Showmanship exhibitors, we will show our age classes from beginning to end. Then we will select our age group champions, junior, intermediate, and senior. And then we will select our overall champion, and then we will compete for the Dean's Championship Challenge. So all of our age groups straight through, then select our age group champions. We're very happy to have some of our Maryland dairy royalty helping us pass out awards and ribbons today. From the Eastern Shore, our Shore Dairy Princess, Miss Caroline Winterstein. And if you were with us on Friday, you got to meet Caroline and our newly crowned Maryland State Dairy Princess, Miss Leah Spurrier from Frederick County. We have our 13-year-old showmanship contestants make your way to the ring. 13-year-old showmanship contestants, please bring your animals to ringside in the center aisle. We do have some other sponsors we'd like to recognize. We'd like to recognize Edmondson Trucking Incorporated for being one of our dairy show ring sponsors. Edmondson Trucking, thank you.
Another great class of 4 out here with our 11-year-olds. These 2 young ladies really rose to the top for me. Both having so much control over their heifer, really following my directions, having them set up to a T. But this young lady in first just has a little bit more relaxed. She's a little more relaxed when she's leading her heifer, and I feel like that really comes through as she's leading around the ring. I'm able to focus a lot more on her heifer. Not to take anything away from this young lady in second. They rise over these 2 in third and fourth, just with some small things like setting them up to really look their best, as well as switching when I go around them in the ring, and having the lead strap coiled a little bit more so it's not detracting from the heifer's profile. But give them all a big round of applause.
Congratulations to Madison Matthias, the 11-year-old showmanship winner, receives an award sponsored by our Dairy Breed Associations. Second goes to Emma Utterback, third to Haley Jarvis, and fourth to Lincoln Mongold. Connor Mullenix is a scratch. So from the top of Class 5, Haley Jarvis 3. Madison Matthias is our winner. Lincoln Mongold 4th. Connor Mullenix scratch. Emma Utterback is 2nd. We're now ready for our 13-year-old showman. 13-year-olds into the ring, please. Our second group of 10-year-olds should be at ringside. Second break of 10-year-old showmanship contestants. Have your animals at ringside. For those of you with family members or friends who could not attend today, I am happy to announce that this is being broadcast live, streamed live, by 127 Creative, Mr. Steve Lowe. That's the one of the gentlemen you see out here with the camera and the headphones is streaming live. So call home and tell them to get to the Maryland State Fair YouTube channel. They can see it from the comfort of your living room.
Really nice class of our first heat of 10-year-old showmen here to move into our next class. I'm always impressed at the quality at such a young age, and I'm not sure that there's many bad showmen out here in this lineup at all. But for me, these top 2 young ladies rise to the top of the class pretty handily. Man, the way that they move in stride with with their heifers as they're moving around the ring just puts them up in this class. For me, the young lady with the heifer coming out here in first, just a little bit quicker when she gets her set up in line. Taking nothing away from the young lady in second that moves out with this brown Swiss. I love the way that she parades around the ring with this heifer. I love the attention that she's paying to the judge as she moves around the ring. And that's what takes her over the young lady coming out in third. The young lady in third with the Holstein, I think she does a great job parading around the ring. Really gets her set up quickly and accurately. The young lady, it's above her, just pays a little bit more attention and also handles that halter just a little bit nicer. Can't see as much of it when we're walking around the ring. And then we get into a group of showmen here with these young ladies that do a really nice job. I talk to them each about what they need to do to move a little bit higher up in this class, but I am really impressed with the quality in this class. Congratulations to all our exhibitors.
Congratulations to Alexis Arball. She is the winner of our first group of 10-year-old showmen. Second place goes to Kylie Little. Third to Oakland Chrisman. Fourth to Jalen Bates. Fifth is Corey Black. Sixth is Peyton Kristanovich. Seventh is Sophia Guyton. Eighth goes to Lily Hutchinson. Ninth to Lane Durr. And 10th to Riley Haynes. Starting at the top of Class 3, Break 1, Alexis Arball is first, Jalen Bates 4th, Corey Black 5th, Oakland Chrisman 3rd, Lane Durr is 9th, Sophia Guyton 7th, Riley Haynes 10th, Lily Hutchinson 8th, Peyton Kristanovich is 6th, and Kylie Little is 2nd. Now entering the ring is break 2 for our 10-year-old showmanship contestants. Dairy exhibitors, if you have a production record or production sheet that you have not submitted yet to April, she will be accepting them today until the end of showmanship. So I would say if you came up at the exact end of showmanship, you'd be fine. But if you would send your production record sheets up to the desk here, if you have neglected to do so, we will be accepting them until the end of our showmanship competition. for our ringside observers who may be wondering what we're doing here in the ring today, today is strictly about the presentation of the animals, has nothing to do with the physical conformation. It's how well they're trained to respond to their leader, how well they know the information about their animal, how they are presented, how in class with their feet properly situated underneath of them, giving the judge the optimum view of their animal. So today is all about presentation. Tomorrow will be about conformation compared to the ideal animal in each breed. That's why you see all of our showmanship contestants in the same class regardless of breed. We're going by ages today. Tomorrow it will be by breed and the age of the animal rather than the age of the exhibitor. 12-year-old showmanship contestants should have your animals at ringside. 12-year-old should be at ringside. "15-year-old showmanship contestants can be bringing your animals to the ring."
Well, you know, they're always, one of them always comes in heat for show day, one or the other. Work all year and oh yeah. Some of them try to avoid that. They'll wait about a week before the show and give them a shot of estimate. Get that all out of the way.
Another great class of 10-year-old showmen here in our second heat. Once again, quite impressed with the quality all the way down. But for me, the young lady leading out in first kind of sets herself apart from the rest of the group. I told her in line, for me, just put everything all together today. She was super quick when she was answering the questions, the way she moves around the ring with this heifer, perfect pace, perfect head carriage, and then we get them in line, she sets her up to the best of her ability super quickly. And then we get into second over third, and I think it's a little bit closer there. But for me, the young lady with the red and white is just a little bit more accurate, shows that animal off to the best of her ability when they're in line. Third over fourth, it's about pace around the ring and making sure that, I talk to the young lady in fourth, sometimes less is more. We want to make sure that we're not touching our animal too much, and the brown Swiss just cooperates a little bit more today. Fourth over fifth is about getting that animal set up, especially getting those legs up underneath of her. There's a few things to the young men that I mentioned as they walk down the line, but let's give these kids one more big round of applause. Congratulations.
Results in our second group of 10-year-old showmen. First goes to Raylan Stamball. Second to Lucy Sutton. Third to Levi Pickett. Fourth goes to Ella Malott. Fifth is Easton Smith. Sixth, Everett Sanders. Seventh, James Tripp Rutledge. Eighth is Dylan Reidinger. Ninth is Margaret Mason. And remember, their first place winners in each age group will come back after our age groups are finished. First place winners only. We do not have a reserve, so we don't need any second places. Starting at the top of break 2 of Class 10, Ella Malott 4th, Margaret Mason 9th, Levi Pickett 3rd, Dylan Reidinger 8th, James Tripp Rutledge 7th, Everett Sanders 6th, Easton Smith 5th, Raylan Stamball is 1st, and Lucy Sutton 2nd.
I feel like we are broken records just saying how great these classes are, but once again, this is a very deep class of extremely impressive showmen. So let's give them all a round of applause. Truly, with this top group, you could have gone in any direction. I started with this young man. I felt that the more I saw him and his heifer together, the better and the better that they got. She just continued to lead more smoothly, set up more quickly, and she was often the most set up the most correctly to really show off her assets. That's what places him over this young lady here in second. Just a few times, didn't get quite as good of a look, but her and her heifer really flowed very nicely together. She had really good control of the halter as well as like it tucked up behind her face, but her smoothness as she paraded around the ring is what places her over this young lady here in third. Her heifer was getting her a little trouble in setting up, but when she was set up extremely correctly, and she had such good focus and intensity on both me and her heifer, which and her correctness of how she set up her heifer is what placed her over this young man in fourth. There was just a few times I didn't quite as good as look at his heifer, but he was very quick in setting up his heifer, which just places him over this young lady in fifth. Overall, this was an extremely impressive class, so let's give him a round of applause.
Our top showman in the intermediate 13-year-old class is Andrew Kimball, entry 150. Second goes to Juliet Hutchinson. Third to Brenna Chamlin. Fourth to Daniel Clarity. Fifth goes to Emily Sanders. Sixth to Harper Rutledge. And seventh to Owen Fry. Starting at the top of Class 7, if you're marking your book, Brenna Chamlin is third, Daniel Clarity fourth, Owen Fry seventh. Turn the page to Juliet Hutchison second, Andrew Kimball first, Harper Rutledge is sixth, and Emily Sanders is fifth. Now in the ring are our 15-year-olds in the East ring and our 12-year-olds in the West ring.
Yeah, pretty sure. 143. See who that is. Waltermeyer, Patrick Waltermeyer, and might be a silver, but I think it's an airship. One turn in the corner. I'm going to say red and white. Who is it? Samantha Patterson would be red and white, and Matt Piper DeBall is probably red and white too. Yeah, most times you could tell the red and whites are usually a little more to them. Yeah, they're a little taller and deeper. Yeah. I have seen some Ayrshires marked like the first one, more so the white ones with just a little bit of red on it. See what that goes. Speckled, yeah. But the Ayrshires and Shorthorns will have the red legs. Red and whites do not. Most likely, yeah. Ayrshire down in the corner.
Once again, a reminder, we will show our age group champions at the end of the age group classes. So following our last age group class, novices, we will show junior championship, intermediate championship, and senior championship, followed by overall champion showman. First place winners only. 14-year-old showmanship contestants should be at ringside. 14-year-olds at ringside. Could we have our novice showmen? Novice showmen, bring your animals to the ringside. It would be novice showmen ages 9 and up. You will be at the center aisle in the east ring.
Real deep quality class of 12-year-old showmen coming out here. For me, the two young ladies with the jerseys rise to the top. I love the way they parade around this ring. I love the pace that they're at when they move around the ring with this heifer. I love the head carriage on both these young ladies with these heifers. For me, the young lady leading out just always never has a bad step. Young lady leading out in the second has a little bit of a bigger animal, but sometimes she gets to circling around a little bit, maybe not looking her best. Two really great showmen to start our class. They gained the placing over the young lady in third with the red and white heifer here. It's more about keeping our animal in control, getting set up when we're in line. Third over fourth, it's about attention to the judge and speed. The young lady in fourth does a great job, but she might not be the quickest in the class when getting her animal set up. Fourth over fifth, it's about accuracy. We want to see those legs set up to the best of their ability. Young lady leading out with the Jersey cow. Give her a lot of credit for bringing a Jersey cow in here and doing a great job with that. I love the way she moves around the ring, and she uses the accuracy on those back legs, getting them set up to place over the young man with the Jersey coming out in six. I talked to each one of these kids as they went down the line, just a few things that they can do. Congratulations.
Congratulations to Vivian Malott, winning showman in our intermediate 12-year-old class. Second goes to Bristol Earhart. Third to Piper DeBall. Fourth to Annette Clarity. Fifth, Julie Brawning. Sixth is Braden Brown. Seventh, Colby Wetzel. Eighth, Mia Wetzel. Ninth, Samantha Patterson. 10th to Delaney Smith. 11th to Savannah Griever, and 12th to Patrick Waltemeyer. So it's top of class 6 reading down the page. Julie Brawning 5th, Braden Brown 6th, Annette Clarity 4th, Piper DeBall 3rd, Bristol Earhart is 2nd, Savannah Griever 11th, Vivian Malott is your winner, Hannah Newman 13th, Samantha Patterson 9th, Delaney Smith 10th, Patrick Waltemeyer 12th, Mia Wenzel is 8th, and Colby Wetzel is 7th. We're now ready for 14-year-old showmanship contestants.
All right, we have a competitive class of 15-year-olds out here today. They were all working hard. This young lady rose to the top. Her and her heifer flowed so nicely together around the ring. She had great head carriage, great focus on both me and her heifer, and was very attentive. Her smoothness around the ring puts her over this young man in second here. Him and his heifer were very much in sync, but she had a little bit more of calf tendencies, just being a little more energized and not quite following some of those rules quite as closely. This young lady in third here, her and her heifer are quite a pair. They work so well together. She set up so nicely, but she was almost a little too, the heifer was almost a little too relaxed, a little sleepy in the ring. I really want to commend this young lady in fourth here today. Her heifer was giving her a little bit of trouble, but she stayed so cool throughout it all, was still so focused on her heifer, and still gave me so many great looks of her heifer. I want to really commend that. And down the line here, they all just had those little things setting them up, a little stretched out, but really great work from them all today. Give them a round of applause.
Winning entrant in the 15-year-old showmanship competition is Leah Spurrier, who took off a little time from her duties as our Maryland State Dairy Princess, giving out awards, to come in and win the 15-year-old showmanship class. Second goes to Jarrett Edwards. Third, Campaneri. Fifth, Matthew Leather. Seventh, Matthew Fry. And eighth is Chloe Miller. Jillian Malott is a scratch. Remarking your books at the top of class number 10, Ella Campaneri is fourth, Jarrett Edwards second, Matthew Fry seventh, Matthew Leather is sixth, Jillian Malott is a scratch, Chloe Miller is eighth, Leah Spurrier is first, Gavin Welsh is fifth, and Willow Winterstein is third. Now entering the ring are our novice participants, who are 9 years old and above. This is their first year exhibiting dairy cattle, first year showman. I'm assuming 17. I'm sorry, 17. I'm getting a class ahead. I'm going to get you done quick, Caroline. This is our 17-year-olds. 17-year-old showmanship. Thank you. She did look at me like, what? What? We're making time. We're now on to our second program. For those of you at ringside, if you're wondering where the 14, 15, 16, 17s are, they're on another program. If you did not get one, they're over here at the table. I'd like to ask our showman in the west ring to please stay on the black mulch and out of Robert's white shavings. Thank you. Showmanship contestants can be making show ring. Should have our novice showmanship contestants coming to ringside. "16-year-old should be at ringside. 16-year-old showmanship contestants should be at ringside."
Smaller quantity class than we've had maybe in some of these other ages, but really high quality class. For me, these top three separate themselves to the top, and especially these top two leadsmen. You could probably flip a coin and place them that way, and I probably wouldn't budge too much. I think that there's very little separating these two top showmen. I switched them around when we moved in line. I just feel like the young lady with the red heifer just keeps such complete control of that animal when she's in line. She pulls in, gets her set up, maybe futzes with the feet a little bit, but that heifer, she's in complete control, especially when I go around the front there. Taking nothing away from the young lady in second with the jersey. I loved her out on the move. That's why we had her pulled in first. She does such a great job floating with this heifer, the ultimate float. And she uses the hand placement and the head carriage to come over the young lady coming out in third. I thought the young lady in third did a great job pace-wise. She did a really nice job moving around the ring, presenting her animal's strengths to the best of her ability. But I just talked to her a little bit about head carriage, some things we can do with the hands there. And then when we got in line, that heifer maybe didn't want to set up quite as quickly. She places over the young lady coming out in fourth as she just kept her animal under control just a little bit more. The young lady in fourth with the Holstein, I told her she did a great job. I just wish that this animal had acted like she did the last 5 minutes for the whole class. Fourth over fifth, it's just about head carriage. I feel like the young lady in fifth's a wonderful showman. She just gets that head jacked up a few too many times. Taking nothing away from our other showmen down the line. I had talked to each one of them. Congratulations.
What a strong class of 17-year-olds coming out here today. This young man in first really set himself a challenge, being that the milk cows are the only ones that have to switch their feet in line, and he did a great job with that. She was always set up very nicely and really quite quickly, especially even with me going back and forth. They flowed so nicely together, just really a dream to walk, and it let him be so calm and collected. Just her being set up is what places him over this young lady in second here. Another great parading around the ring and really great answers to my questions. She was so knowledgeable. But there was just a little bit of a head carriage issue with her neck, as well as switching feet in line that made it, however, not look quite as nice. However, that put togetherness is what put this young lady in third here today. However, this young lady in third being able to have really good control over her heifer puts her over these two ladies in fourth and fifth here today who are just having a little bit of trouble. However, really a great class overall. Let's give a round of applause, people.
Yeah. Thank you, Caroline. Results, let's go back to our 14-year-old showmanship contest. First in the 14-year-old division is Michaela Durr. Second, Emma Hutchinson. Third is Megan Browning. Fourth is Anna Campaneri. Fifth goes to Allison Rolls. And sixth to Alyssa Dorsey. In our 17-year-old showmanship competition, first goes to Blaine Edwards. Second to Paige Miller. Third to Andy Welsh, fourth to Sage Grossnickel, and fifth to Brianna Reinhardt. Patrick Hunter is a scratch. Class number 9, starting at the top of the page, Megan Browning third, Anna Campaneri fourth, Emily Crawford seventh, Michaela Durr first, and she is listed twice. Moving down to Alyssa Dorsey sixth, Emma Hutchinson second, and Allison Rose fifth. Over to Class 12, marking your books, Blaine Edwards first, Sage Grossnickel fourth, Paige Miller second, Patrick Hunter scratch, Brianna Reinhardt fifth, Andy Welsh third. Coming into the East Ring are our novice showmen, ages 9 and above, who is competing in showmanship here at the fair for the first year. Dairy exhibitors, looking ahead to tomorrow, we are scheduled to start at 9 a.m. 9 a.m. with our first classes, and the cows we are estimating to be in around noon-ish. As we get down to the end of our age division classes, a reminder, 8-year-olds, 9-year-olds, 10-year-olds, maybe you want to begin preparing your first place winners to come back to compete for junior championship. We will enter all championship classes from the west end of the ring next to the loading dock, and our judges will be combined in their decision. They will be working together as a team. They will let you know which one is the one to watch as the judge while you're showing. While our Dairy Princess is involved in showmanship, we're happy to have one of our Dairy Misses, Ms. Oakland Chrisman, substituting to hand out ribbons. Thank you.
5 really nice 16-year-old showmen here today. Let's give them a nice round of applause. For me, these 2 young ladies rise to the top of this class. I love the pace that they move around the ring with. I love how they find that balance between paying attention to me and paying attention to their heifer. For me, the young lady leading out in first with the brown Swiss never takes a bad step. She places over the young lady in second with the Jersey, as she's just a little bit quicker about getting those legs up underneath of her, and I prefer the answers to the young lady in first when I asked her about the strengths and weaknesses of her heifer. Taking nothing away from the young lady in second with the Jersey, I think she does a really nice job with this big yearling, who's maybe not being the most participating here today, but she places over the young lady coming out in third about just some of the relaxed things. We want to be relaxed when we're showing. We want to have a nice pace. I think the young lady in third does a very nice job. I talked to her about some things that we can do about paying attention to your heifer a little bit more, getting those legs set up, and then third over fourth, it's just overall hand placement and head carriage. Fourth over fifth, it's further more about kind of getting those legs up underneath of her and holding that halter and showing off your animal to the best of her ability. 5 great showmen. Congratulations.
Great class of novices out here. It's so great to see people kids of all ages starting to show animals. So it's really cool to have the opportunity to judge them today. This young lady here in first is just the definition of poise. So calm and collected as she paraded around the ring. We talked a little bit about setting her up, but really that's what helped her rise to the top here. This young lady in second, until the very end, her heifer was leading very well. She had answers to my questions. She was holding the halter properly and was setting her up quickly. Just little things place her over this young man in third here. You can go. Just attentiveness that she had and things like that. However, his head carriage is, and as well as his answers to his questions, is what places him over this young lady in fourth here. The young lady in fourth just oozes enthusiasm as she goes around the ring, and her control over her heifer is what places her over this young lady in sixth. This young lady in sixth did do a really good job of setting her heifer up quickly, but we talked a little bit about the correctness of it. But her slightly more control over the young man that came out here at the end is what placed her there. Thank you. And give them all a round of applause for coming out here and showing these big animals.
Congratulations to our winners in the 16-year-old and the novice class. Each of those winners will receive an award provided by our joint state and regional breed associations. Results in the senior 16-year-old division. First goes to Brooke Leaf, second to Caroline Kimball, third to Tristan Kaiser, fourth to Deanna Sickert, and fifth to Michael Merriam. Carly now is a scratch. The novice showmanship class, 9 and above, first goes to Grace Cross, second to Ada Walter, third to Garrett Hefner, fourth to Anna Franklin, fifth to Macy Lovegrove, and sixth to Micah Umberger. The top of the class 11 and seniors, second is Caroline Kimball, Tristan Kaiser is third, Brooke Leaf is our winner, Michael Merriam is fifth, flipping the page, Carly now scratch, Deanna Sickert is fourth. The novice showmanship class 15, Grace Cross is first, Anna Franklin fourth, Garrett Hefner third, Macy Lovegrove fifth, Micah Umberger sixth, and Ada Walter is second. We now have our 18-year-olds competing. This will be our last age group class, which will be followed by our age group or division age champions, junior, intermediate, and senior. Juniors, winners, 8, 9, both 10-year-old groups.
11 and 12. 12 is intermediate. through 10.
Just a reminder to our novice winner, Grace Cross, you will return to compete for overall champion. So don't change clothes yet.
Three nice exhibitors here in our 18-year-old division. I think this class kind of places itself out nicely. The young lady leading out here with brown Swiss calf here in the first. Love the way that she parades around the ring with this heifer. She moves in unison with this heifer. And then when I asked them about a management question, I think at this age, our 4-Hers should be really locked into their animals, doing most of the work themselves. And so I asked them, some management questions, and I love the young lady's responses here in first. First over second's it's about hand placement and head carriage. They both kind of have smaller animals, and they're both taller exhibitors. So I talked to them about making sure we're not just, throwing that animal high into the air, or the head high into the air to say that we held their head high. Second over third, I think the young man in third, I talked to him, he does a really nice job when he leads around the ring and this animal is cooperating. She wasn't cooperating for about half the class, and she didn't cooperate right there. It just shows us. But three really nice exhibitors. Congratulations.
Our winning 18-year-old in the showmanship competition is Scarlett Hefner. Second goes to Aubrey Tressler. Third to Wyatt Snyder. We're now ready to select our junior champion, or champion of the junior division of showmanship, which is our 8-year-olds, 9-year-olds, and 10-year-olds, our first place winners. If you're ready to enter the ring, Our judges will combine and make a joint decision on to select our champion of the junior age group. That winner will come back and compete for overall champion against our winning intermediate and senior showman and novice showman. We're now ready to select our champion of the junior division, junior age group. For those of you who weren't with us earlier today, our judges today are Caroline Aerosmith and Ryan Allen. Caroline is a Penn State graduate with a degree in animal science and has judged at several regional showmanship competitions. Her family owns and operates Hill Acres jerseys, where she also shows cattle with them at the state and national level. Caroline also works making farmstead cheese and raising beef, pork, and chicken for Hill Acres Pride, which is their trade name for their dairy products. Ryan Allen was born and raised on his family's dairy, Glen Tockton Farm in Frederick County. He resides currently in Lancaster County, where he works for Premier Select Sires as a reproductive and genetic consultant. He previously had a job as satellite manager for Fairmont Farms in Vermont. Ryan was active in the Maryland 4-H dairy judging program and earned a trip to Europe based on his team's finish in the national judging contest. He also judged at the collegiate level for Penn State. He's worked as a dairy cattle fitter, traveling the country, preparing animals for the show ring, and had the privilege last year to fit the Grand Champion Guernsey at World Dairy Expo. Regional shows and enjoys showing cows with his fiance's family, Hill Acres jerseys. Yes, we have an engaged couple performing their judging duties today. So congratulations and welcome, Ryan and Caroline. For visitors at ringside who are not familiar with our dairy industry, today is all about our showmen and not really about the animal. It's how they present their animals, how well they're trained, their general knowledge in presenting the animal to the best of their ability, knowledge on management questions, and train how well animals they have them trained. Tomorrow will be all about conformation. We will divide them in by breeds and by ages of the animals. Today, we're dividing them by ages of exhibitors amongst all breeds. So today's by exhibitor, tomorrow will be by our cattle ages and conformation. Intermediate age division winners should be bringing your animals to ringside. Your class will be next. Please bring your animals to the loading dock end of the ring. That's where you will be entering. 11, 12, and 13-year-olds. Madison Matthias, need to be headed this way with your heifer for showmanship to compete in the intermediate division. Madison Matthias, we're looking for you.
Please join me in congratulating our young exhibitors here today. Caroline and I just couldn't quite believe the quality that these 4 exhibitors have for being so young. We have our 8-year-old there, the young girl with the jersey there, does a great job. We have our brown Swiss 9-year-old, and then we have 2 from the 10-year-old, 2 heats there. Caroline's going to go out, shake the hand of our overall junior champion there for, junior showman, overall champion, and give them a big round of applause when they do, and I'll back it up with some reasons. It's so tight between these 2 10-year-olds. That's why this class kind of took so long. We were waiting for one of them to do something that placed them over the other. I think these 2 10-year-olds should be quite proud of how well they are. For us, the young lady that came out of the second heat there that we made overall champion is just a little bit better about getting her heifer set up, especially when we got into this final pool. There was really nothing else other than when we got them into line. I'm telling you, these 2 10-year-olds are outstanding showmen. Congratulations.
All right, congratulations, Raylan. Don't go too far. You will be back to compete for overall champion in just a bit. Now ready for intermediates to select our intermediate class winners, to select our overall intermediate champion showman. Our 11, 12, and 13-year-olds. Our other contestants in the junior division, the winning 8-year-old was Chandler Story, 9-year-old was Marshall Mongold, then 10-year-olds were Alexis Arball and our champion Raylan Stamball. Our intermediate class winners are Madison Matthias, Vivian Malott, and Andrew Kimball. They will be competing for the championship of the intermediate age division. Brooke Leach and Scarlett Hefner, if you could be bringing your animals to ringside. Senior division will be next. Our age group champions will each receive an award provided by the Maryland State Fair.
Get another round of applause for our intermediate showmen here today. If anybody thinks that judging is easy, come on out here and place these three. Caroline and I, once again, were applauded by the quality of these three intermediate showmen here. You heard us talk about it in class. You know, I saw the 12-year-old. Caroline saw the 11 and the 13-year-old, and we both were talking, and we saw why each contestant here won their class. So enough praise about these about all these exhibitors. Caroline's going to go out and congratulate our intermediate showmen. Give them a big round of applause when she does that. I sound like a broken record, but when you have this much quality, you really got to start getting nitpicky. I think it was pretty close for us, but today that young man with the Ayrshire, and especially when he moved, is just so accurate when it comes to setting up his animal. Not setting it based up on how the rule book says. He does the best job at presenting his animal to the best of her ability. Furthermore, he gains the advantage of the young lady with the jersey when it comes to head carriage. Getting that head held up high, getting that animal's ears forward, and just presenting her to the best at all times. Congratulations.
Congratulations to Andrew Kimball. He's our champion of the intermediate division in showmanship. Receives an award sponsored by the provided by the Maryland State Fair. Andrew, don't go too far. We have another class that you're going to participate in for overall champion. As soon as we get our senior participant picked, senior champion picked, we'll have those three plus our novice champion back for overall. And competition for the C. Ellsworth Yeager Award. Following selection of our overall champion, we have a special class called Dean's Champion Challenge, where this year's overall winner will compete against any previous overall showmanship winners who are still age eligible for 4-H. This year we have one eligible contestant who will compete against this year's winner, and that's Lila Utterback. Once again, we'd like to thank some of our sponsors. Our show ring sponsor, Edmondson Trucking Incorporated. Thank you very much for supporting our show. When we get to our Grand Champion Showmanship contest, the Grand Champion of this year's show will receive an award provided by Woodbine Farms, Tricia Boyce and family. Also thank Maryland State Fair for providing awards to all of our age group champions, and our breed associations for providing awards to each of our individual class winners by pooling all their resources together from the different breeds. Thank you.
Let's give our senior exhibitors one big round of applause here. when these kids start getting a little bit older, we kind of ask more out of them. And I think all 5 of these kids rose to the occasion, and they showed us why they belong here in this senior champion contention. You already heard me talk about what Caroline and I like in our showmen, and I think it's pretty obvious here in these final 5. Caroline's going to go out and select our overall senior champion showman. Give them a big round of applause when they do. Five outstanding exhibitors, and still yet this young lady with the red heifer almost runs away with the class. Caroline and I use the term parade and float quite a lot today, but I think this is a perfect example. She goes at the absolute perfect pace as they move around the ring. They're taking each step in stride together. And then when we get them in line, this young lady might not be the quickest about setting them up, but as she does, I feel like she does the best job about transitioning them from not set up to set up. Congratulations to all our exhibitors.
Congratulations to Michaela Durr. She is the champion showman in the senior division, receives an award sponsored or provided by the Maryland State Fair. We will now be ready, we now are ready to select our overall showmanship champion from amongst our 3 age group winners and our novice group. The overall showmanship winner will receive a plaque presented by Maple Lawn Farm, the Charles and Jean Yeager family, in memory of C. Ellsworth Yeager, and will have their name added to the C. Ellsworth Yeager Memorial Plaque. They also will receive a banner sponsored by Woodbine Farms, the Boyce family. Reminder to our exhibitors once more, tomorrow's show will begin at 9 a.m. 9 a.m. with cows expected around noon-ish. We're now ready to select our overall champion, our contestants from the different age group classes along with our novice winner. First out of the chute is our champion novice, Grace Cross. Grace is followed by the champion of our junior division, 8, 9, and 10-year-olds, Raylan Stamball. Following Raylan is our intermediate champion, Andrew Kimball. And our final age group champion from the senior division, Michaela Durr.
Let's give a big round of applause one last time for all our exhibitors here today. We've got 4 out here for our final champion class, but I think that there's a lot of exhibitors back in the barns that might not be in these final 4 that are high quality showmen. Caroline and I were talking, and we were so incredibly impressed with the quality, not just in our first place winners, but as they went down the line. And for anybody who might have found themselves at the other end of the line, I got a little story to share. One year when I was exhibiting down here in Maryland State Fair, I stood 14th out of 14th in the 15-year-old class there. And I came back the next year with the exact same heifer and won this whole shebang. So, to all my exhibitors that maybe what it might have been down at the end of the class, come back next year and win the whole shebang. Prove me and Caroline wrong. Want to say thanks for April Hall getting us out here. Caroline and I both have a lot of good memories here at the Maryland State Fair and showing cows here. It's a big part of our youth. It's kind of the end of summer, as we always say. With that being said, I'll shut my mouth, and Caroline will go out there and congratulate our overall final champion showman. This senior showman, this young lady with the red and white heifer, you heard us talk about it when we were doing senior champion. We just feel at the pace that this young lady moves with this heifer, places her over the young man with the Ayrshire. Extremely close placing, but for us it's this young lady with the red heifer here today. Congratulations to all our exhibitors.
Thank you, Ryan and Caroline. Our overall showmanship winner is Michaela Durr. She will receive an individual award provided by Maple Lawn Farm in memory of C. Ellsworth Yeager, as well as having her name added to the list on the C. Ellsworth Yeager Memorial Plaque. She will also receive a banner sponsored by Woodbine Farms. We have 1 class remaining, and that is the Dean's Champion Challenge. And Michaela will have several years left to compete in this class. This class is for previous champions who are still 4-H age, have not exhausted their eligibility, and they may compete and win as many times as they can in the Dean's Champion Challenge. We have one previous winner, Lila Utterbach, who will compete with Michaela today. The winner of this class, the Dean's Champion Challenge, will receive an award sponsored by the Dean of the College of Ag and Natural Resources from the University of Maryland at College Park.
are really putting in the work. I mean, I think they could be here for hours and their heifers would look just as good as they do right now. But Ryan will go out and congratulate our overall of overalls champions, and then I'll give our reasons. These two young ladies are extremely competitive here. They both have their heifers set up very quickly and very well. They have such ultimate control over their heifers.
Thank you. Thank you, Caroline and excuse me. Thank you, Caroline and Ryan. Caroline and excuse me. Thank you, Caroline and Ryan. Our winner